the biggest competition, the biggest question, like I feel like at camp at this point is really safety. Is
Yeah.
there any other position that you feel like somebody doesn't have like a big leeway? Like
Um,
obviously Ringo has a bit, like Adoree would have to do a lot to take that spot. Like
that's a good question because I think I don't know if this is this is obviously not by choice, but or design, but that linebacker position next to Zach Bond is kind of in limbo right now because of injuries, not really because they don't know who they have. It's just
yeah, so I
that's
want to ask you about that when you that's an interesting spot because it's like, yeah, we Nakobe Dean is injured. We
mm-hmm,
get Jihad,
right.
right? Jihad is injured.
Mm-hmm.
So it's Jeremiah Trott. It just seemed like what's gonna happen if all them guys is healthy at the same time, all them guys is looking good at the same time. Because the
Yeah,
ideal situation is Trot ball out. The ideal situation is Jihad ball out. The ideal situation is Nakobe Dean get back into form. But then it's like we got three potential studs. Like we know Nakobe is a stud when he's healthy.
mm-hmm.
Jihad has the capabilities of being a stud. We hope Trot is a stud. But then it's like, shoot, that room gonna be thick as heck.
Yeah. I think about that often. I think about the prospects of all of those guys playing well, and and the tough decision Vic Fangio is probably going to have to make to figure out who his guys are going to be. I wouldn't be surprised though. See, here's the thing. In his press conference, his most recent press conference, he was asked a lot about a lot of different things.
Talking about Vic.
Yeah, Vic. When he was asked about Nakobe Dean specifically, he said he won't be back anytime soon. Now I don't know what that now I don't know what that means.
That was
But Vic,
basically stop asking. Y'all see it where y'all see it.
that and also, Vic can't. If Vic don't want to give you an answer, he'll just say no comment,
Right.
and he mean what he say. But what made it interesting is when he was asked about Jahad Campbell, he said, "Yeah, he'll be getting on the grass in August and so on and so forth, or whatever." So I'm under the impression that he's more optimistic about Jahad Campbell's health than Nakobe Dean's health.
Oh yeah, because Nakobe Dean, that injury is going to have him out at least some weeks into the season. Like he's at least going to miss a few weeks of the season. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So I mean, it's more of a long shot. I feel like for Nakobe to like come back into form. I more so see it like it's a situation like, what if Trot's balling out and then Jihad ready? Because they're more so going to be Jihad going to be basically coming back at the start of preseason
Mhm.
or whatever. And at that point, Trot would have had a whole training camp. And like, what if Trot is balling out?
Yeah.
And then Jihad, like, obviously that's a good problem to have, but that's something I'm looking at because it's like everybody coming in because somebody was injured.
Mhm.
But then it's like when these dudes are healthy, it's like,
I think about Zach Bond's ability to make guys better. He
that
remember playoffs, and this is no slight on the Kobe Dean, but the Kobe Dean gets hurt in a crucial time in the playoffs, right? You're pretty much getting everybody's best shot, or at least the best shot they could throw. And when the Kobe Dean went down, I think we all was like, "Oh man, all right, starting. Like how are we gonna bounce back from this?" And Oren Burks comes in, and it's like nothing changed. Nothing changed, and I feel like that was an indictment on the Kobe Dean. Like not saying that Kobe Dean did something wrong, but it's just one of those things. Like, dang, the Kobe Dean did have a great season. He sustained it for 17 games straight. Let's
right,
not take that away from him. 17 games straight of just good football play. He was ranked.
right,
He was one of the highest ranked linebackers. He was one of the highest ranked, one of the highest graded linebackers in 2025. Let's not dispute that whatsoever. That's all rat facts. But I just think it is interesting to see Oren Burks, your third string linebacker, come in divisional round. Well, second half of the Green Bay game and wild card, divisional round, NFC Championship, Super Bowl, and just maintain that pace, maintain that level of impact. Those games are difficult. Those opponents were difficult. The circumstances were difficult. That says a lot about Oren Burks, obviously, but it also says a lot about the rest of that defense, Zach Bond in
Yeah.
particular, how he's able to get guys back on track. Because N'Kobe was the green dot before he got hurt. Zach Bond took over the green dot, and things kept pace. So, and most of the time, linebackers all about being in the right spot. He kept everybody in the right spot. So, Jeremiah, can he have that same impact on Jeremiah Trotter Jr.? I think he can. I think Jeremiah Trotter Jr. is a smart player. He showed impact on special teams. He's coachable. Obviously, he got the legacy. So we'll see how that turns out for sure. That
Zach
actually
Bond and Vic Fangio, like
yeah,
having them boys ready, like, and being an identifier of that talent. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and that's the one thing. That's the one thing I think we can all agree on that we're not going to be concerned about. As long as Vic Fangio is calling the shots on defense,
Right.
we know, regardless of what we think or what we feel should happen, Fangio is going to make sure the right person on the football field. He proved that. He proved that. The fact that he sat Avonte Maddox and put Ricky Cooper Dejean in that crucial time.
In that crucial time, boy.
Prove that. Being able to identify that Oren Burks is the right guy at linebacker 3 than Jeremiah Trotter Jr., not taking nothing away from him, but he identified that Oren Burks would be the best fit right there. Right decision. Identifying that Isaiah Rodgers is probably the best candidate to be CB3. Hey, good decision. Identifying Moro Jomo's ability and being able to bring something out of Jordan Davis. Like he's, all those guys like Clint Hurt. This Eagles defensive coaching staff did an amazing job identifying the talent, developing the talent, and helping the talent execute. So I definitely have no concerns about that.